I've always had vivid dreams, the kind that linger after you wake up like a film clinging to your skin. My therapist used to say it was harmless overactivity. That's what I believed. Until the dreams started following me. It started a few weeks ago. I had this dream where I was lying in my bed, in my own apartment, but everything was slightly off. My room was too long, the window looked out into darkness that pulsed like a living thing, and the walls breathed, slowly, gently, like they were asleep too. Then I started hearing things, a voice. It wasn't English, it wasn't any language I know, it sounded wet, like someone speaking through a mouthful of blood. The voice came from under my bed, which, even in the dream, I was terrified to look beneath. I forced myself to swing my legs off the mattress, but just as my toes touched the floor, the thing under the bed giggled. I jolted awake, soaked in sweat, heart hammering. I laughed it off. Just a nightmare. But that same night, the dream returned. Same room, same whispers, same giggle. By the fourth night, I stopped sleeping altogether. But here's the thing, it didn't help. The dream came anyway. Even when I passed out from exhaustion on my couch, I'd find myself back in that stretched out room. And each time, something new was wrong. Once, the walls were covered in eyes. Another night, there were hands pushing out from behind the wallpaper, as though someone was trapped inside, clawing to get free. And then one night, it spoke clearly. "I'm learning," it said from under the bed, "getting closer." I woke up with a scream locked in my throat. There were fingernail marks on the floor beneath my bed. Real ones. I checked. I moved out the next day, rented a small house, 2 towns over. New place, new bed, no dreams, I told myself. But it came with me. First night in the new house, I fell asleep out of sheer exhaustion. And there I was again in that endless room with the pulsing dark outside the window. Only this time, I wasn't alone. I saw myself sleeping in the bed, watching my own chest rise and fall. I hovered above the bed like a balloon tethered to a dying string. And the thing under the bed began to crawl out. Long, jointless limbs, skin like moldy leather, no face, just a wide, lipless mouth and wet, slurping breaths. It reached one finger toward my sleeping form, and I screamed, but no sound came out. It touched my leg. I woke up screaming, the echo of its cold, leathery hand still on my calf. But what terrified me most? There was a single black fingerprint on my leg, burnt in, like a brand. I started seeing it in mirrors after that. Behind me, always just a little out of focus, a shadow where there should be light. Once, brushing my teeth, I saw it watching from the shower. The curtain was open. Nothing should have been there. But it was. I spun around. Nothing. But the mirror still showed it. And the dreams, they bled. I'd be walking down the street, midday, and suddenly everything would stutter. The world would flicker, and for a split second, I'd see the dream world. The endless room, the breathing walls, the pulsing black sky, then back, like a skipping record. Then came the people. At work, my co-worker Sam turned to me and said, "He's under your bed again," with no change in tone, then kept typing like nothing happened. My mailman, handing me a package, looked me dead in the eyes and said, "Don't sleep tonight. He's waiting." I didn't even open the box, just threw it in the trash. One night, desperate, I rigged a camera to record me sleeping. When I checked the footage the next morning, it was fine at first. Just me, tossing and turning. Then, around 3:11 a.m., the screen flickered. And there it was, not crawling from under the bed, but rising from the floor, like smoke in reverse. It stood over me, tilted its featureless head, and slowly leaned down until its mouth hovered over my ear. The camera's audio crackled. "You dreamed me wrong," it hissed. But I fixed it. The next few seconds were static. When the image returned, I was still asleep, alone. I moved again, burned my mattress, got rid of every object I'd owned since the dreams began. Started therapy again. New doctor. She listened quietly, too quietly. Then she said, "You know what the worst part is, Miss Walker?" I blinked. "What?" She smiled, too wide. "You're not dreaming anymore." And then she vanished, right in front of me, like someone flicked off a switch. Now I don't know what's real. Sometimes I wake up, but I'm not in my room. I'm in that stretched out place again, lying in bed, staring at the ceiling while the whispers crawl back. Sometimes my own hands move before I tell them to. Sometimes I blink, and I'm not the one who opens my eyes. And every night, I hear him. Under the bed, breathing, waiting. Because I dreamed him once. And now he's awake.
Another scary fable told. Another night survived. For daily eerie stories and unsettling fables, like, subscribe, and turn on your notifications so you'll be ready for tomorrow's tale.